MDS Conquer online finish line course for the MDS first year students, paper 1. I myself, Dr. Satya Ushasri, consultant orthodontist, team MDS Conquer, today going to discuss about growth rotations. Growth rotations can be given both as an essay question and the concepts which are explained in the growth rotations can also be asked as 7 marks question. So these are the contents which to be included if it is an essay question. So you have to write the concepts of mandibular rotations, maxillary rotations, and the clinical implications of mandibular and maxillary growth rotations, and you have to include the references. So these are the questions. Growth rotations alone can become as 20 marks question, and as a part of 7 marks question, cephalometric growth study of maxilla, mutual relationship of jaw bases, and structural science of growth rotations. These are the important 7 marks questions which are included in this concept. So growth rotations, the first concept was given by Bjork. After the entry of the cephalometrics, the study of the rotations or the study of the bones became very easy. So after the introduction of the cephalometrics only, Bjork studied the rotations of maxilla and mandible. And what is the importance of orthodontics? I think without the knowledge of growth rotations of maxilla and mandible, no orthodontist can prepare the plan of the case. Though it is only because of the dental, it also includes the rotation of the jaw bases also. So these are the 5 important points which are the which shows the importance of growth rotations in the orthodontics. Next comes your mandibular concept. So mandibular rotations. The concept of rotation is simple, either forward or backward, clockwise or anti-clockwise, but it is described by various authors. So as a part of mandibular rotation, you have to write all the concepts which are given by different authors. So these include all these authors like Bjork, Schudis, Debets, Profit, Lavgren, and Solo. But there is no need of describing each and every person's terminology. So the most important one among this is Bjork classification, followed by Schudis concept, and followed by Profit description. So if you elaborately explain these 3 authors' terminology, it is sufficient for your mandibular rotations. So this is the Bjork classification. This is a small flowchart describing all the things. Both forward and backward rotations are explained by Bjork. And in the forward and backward rotations also there are 3 different types, type 1, type 2 and type 3. This is mainly depending upon the center of rotation of the point where the center of rotation is present in the mandible. So you have to explain this flowchart and you have to quote the article regarding this flowchart. That is the prediction of mandibular growth rotation. These are the classic articles. You have to remember this, and this will be useful for your final year Viva question also. So you have to write what is the forward rotation, how it happens, and what are the effects of forward rotation. So this is a small brief description of forward rotation and backward rotations. So I'm just giving an example how you have to write, and this is the effect of backward rotation. So you have to simplify the content of mandibular rotations into these things. Again, the forward rotation and backward rotation, type 1, type 2, type 3 also. What is type 1 and what is its effect on symphysis, incisal planes, interincisal angle, etc. You have to write. Okay. Next is your structural science of growth rotations. These are very important. As a 7 marks question, it is an important one, and in planning it is important, and as a Viva question it is important. So you have to know each and everything and you have to explain. Okay. I am just telling as an example, interincisal angle is there. What happens in a forward rotation? What happens in a backward rotation? If there is a forward rotation of the mandible, that means the mandible is rotating forward direction, that is counterclockwise direction. There will be retroclined incisors. Because of the retroclined incisors, the interincisal angle will be increased. Because of the proclined incisors, the interincisal angle will be decreased. This you have to explain. Okay. So what is the orthodontic implication? You have to explain in every case. You have to explain what is the rotation. You have to explain what is the clinical impact of that rotation on the orthodontic treatment. Done. Next, another terminology is given by Schury's concept, that is the clockwise and counterclockwise rotation. We are taking the essence from all these terminologies and we are talking as vertical growers and horizontal growers. Okay, so the clockwise rotation is nothing but vertical growers. Counterclockwise rotation is nothing but horizontal growers. So Schury's concept, you have to write the terminology and you have to write the article which is present given the Schury's concept, and these are the components which are involved. You have to detailedly explain the concepts and what happens in the clockwise rotation, that is because of the increased vertical growth and decreased horizontal growth there will be clockwise rotation. Okay, and counterclockwise rotation because of the increased condylar growth and decreased vertical growth. So you have to elaborately explain what is counterclockwise and what is clockwise. Next comes your Profit concept. Okay, so he named the total rotation of the mandible as a total rotation and divided it into external and internal. We all know that surface changes will be present in the posterior border of your ramus. That he named as external rotation. And internal rotation by placing the implants and along the inferior alveolar canal, he thought that that is a stable point to rotate, to measure the changes in the mandible and explain detailedly the rotation of the mandible. So he gave matrix rotation and intramatrix rotation, studying the implants orientation in the core of the body of the mandible. Done. So next, how you are measuring this rotation, you have to write. So the main headings of mandibular rotation, Bjork classification, Schury's concept, Profit concept, cephalometric angles determining the mandibular rotation, all these headings will give you a brief scene of what you are going to explain to the examiner. That will give a good impact on your score. Okay, so these are the three angles: base plane angle, mandibular plane angle, and gonial angle, which are used to determine the mandibular rotation. So this is a summary of mandibular growth rotation. You have to mention the condition and what terminology is used by different authors you have to write. If you can memorize it and write, it is well and good. If not, also it is not at all a matter. Not at all get discouraged because of seeing this. This is a little bit confusion for everyone. Okay, if it is possible you can write, if not, nothing. Only 1 mark variation will come. But if you really give the content which is all explained here, definitely you will score 15 plus marks for your 20 marks question. So don't worry about this only table that you cannot memorize. If you cannot memorize, it's okay. 99 people cannot memorize. Next, we are going to growth rotations of maxilla. Okay, so this itself can come as an 7 marks question, and it is an important implant study. Okay, Bjork conducted the implant study by placing the implants in the maxilla. Okay, normally rotations of the mandible means we will consider only the rotations of the mandible. But the problem comes is, though we correct depending upon the rotation of the mandible, still the cases will get relapse because we will miss the rotation of the maxilla. But maxilla also rotates, and that rotation, how they rotate, either transversely or backwardly or forwardly, is explained by Bjork. So Bjork placed implants in hard palate. One is behind the deciduous canine and one is behind the medial part of first molar, that is the key ridge area. Okay, and 2 lateral implants are also placed. These 2 lateral implants are placed in the zygomatic processes and one in the anterior nasal spine. So on a consecutive cephalograms, he studied the changes of the maxilla. Then he later found out that the lateral implants are getting separated more. The distance between the lateral implants is more rather than the anterior one. That means they are rotating transversely. Yes, it is possible because the maxilla is made up of 2 maxillae and it is united at a mid-palatal suture. Okay, and the primary maxilla is also, premaxilla is also present. So because of the sutures which are present, there is a possibility of rotation, and that is transverse rotation of the maxilla is possible. Okay, so this is the mutual transverse rotation of the maxilla is possible, and the distance between the first molar increases more than the distance between the canines. So what is the terminology given by Bjork and Schiller of the growth rotation of the maxilla? It is internal rotation that is present in the core of the maxilla. External rotation, resorption at the nasal side and apposition on the palatal side. And the forward rotation and backward rotation. So how we measure the cephalometric angle measuring the rotation of the maxilla is J angle. It is very important angle and it is also known as angle of inclination. So if we see here, you can just explain how the J angle is measured. A perpendicular is drawn to the parallel line which is drawn from the sella intrinsica to the nasion, and to this perpendicular the palatal plane, angle between the perpendicular and the palatal plane is measured. If the maxilla is rotated forward, that is downwards rotation, the angle of the inclination will be decreased. If the maxilla rotates upward or the backward, then the angle of inclination will be increased. Here the angle of inclination will be decreased. So depending upon the decreased angle of inclination, it will lead to deep bite. Increased angle of inclination, it will lead to open bite. That is the clinical implication you have to explain there. Next comes, as a part of essay answer, you have to write the mutual relationship of the jaw bases also, that is which includes both maxilla and mandibular rotations. So here it comes the convergent rotation, divergent rotation, cranial rotation and caudal rotation. So brief explanation of all these 4 rotations will conclude the mutual relationship of the jaw bases. This mutual relationship of the jaw bases also is a 7 marks question, and also it can also be answered asked in Viva also. So though you are giving your exam in the first year, it is better to gain the knowledge of this, and this will be continued till your 3rd year also. Okay, so ortho itself is a continuation. So have a good knowledge of growth rotations. It is very important question. Okay, thank you.